Almighty God, who in thy wisdom and goodness has established a parliament for the youth of this great country to advocate and promote the welfare of the youth and the society. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in the house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come on our deliberation in so just faithful a manner to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge. Amen. Thank you. You may resume your seat.
Communication from the chair.
Dignitaries here present, honorable members of the National Youth Parliament, we welcome you to the second and final day of the National Youth Parliament sittings 2023, which has been anchored on our determination to discuss the issues affecting the young people the most. Building up from the constituency consultations that have been held in the past month or two, the honorable members here present have been able to gather insightful thoughts from the constituencies on the issues affecting their lives. We were successful yesterday in the commencement of this year's session by bringing in very significant motions that actually affect the lives of the young people of this country. And in so doing, serious concerns have been raised, such as how much involved the young people are in democratization processes and in the development of policies, frameworks, and agenda that are aimed at addressing the issues affecting the young people. It has been moved and seconded that the government should prioritize the young people in all aspects of the recovery-focused National Development Plan. It has as well been moved and seconded and adopted, of course, as a resolution that women leadership should be prioritized. It has been discovered from our discussions yesterday that we still have communities that do not have the basic opportunity to enjoy social amenities or even the fulfillment of our fundamental human rights in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of employment, and in terms of skills development. We have also discovered how much marginalized certain sectors of society are in decision-making processes, much especially women and persons with disabilities. It is on that note that we built a strong background that as a youth parliament, we are committed to advocate for the rights of everyone and ensure that everyone is involved in all decision-making processes without any form of discrimination. So today we are gathered to continue on this drive by looking at other key issues that affect the lives of young people of the country to build a foundation that could be relied upon to make decisions that are just towards advancing the welfare of the youth without leaving anyone behind. Thank you so much for everyone that is in attendance as we join this wonderful course. Clerk, you may proceed.
Matters of the day. On the government's responsibility to protect the rights of women and girls against FGM and all forms of harmful practices. Moved by Honorable Member for Latrikunda Savage.
Thank you, Clerk. Honorable members, pass one to the standing orders. Honorable Member for Latrikunda Savage is scheduled to deliver a statement on the matters of the day. Before I invite the Honorable Member to deliver the statement, I wish to state that after the Honorable Member delivers his statement, which shall not last for more than 5 minutes, the floor will be open for members who wish to contribute on the matter of the day to do so. Every Honorable Member would each have only 5 minutes to contribute, and the total time for the matter of the day shall not last for 1 hour. No member shall interrupt any other member while speaking on the matter of the day. I now invite the Honorable Member for Latrikunda Savage to deliver his statement on the matter of the day.
Point of observation, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you. So I rise on point of observation to confirm the interruption. Do you mean point of orders and observation are not allowed? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. The point of orders and point of observation would definitely apply to plenary debates. Unlike that, this is not a debate, it's a matter of the day. As a result, members are supposed to be given the latitude to make their deliberations as far as the matter of the day is concerned. Thank you so much. Honorable Member for Latrikunda, you may go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, members of this August Parliament, it is indeed a profound interest for me to be able to deliver this statement in this August Parliament on the matter of the day, the government's responsibility to protect the rights of women and girls against FGMC and all forms of inhumane treatment. But before I proceed, Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I will request to be guided by Standing Order 23-2 as I deliberate on this.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Honorable members of this Parliament, Honorable Speaker, female genital mutilation is widely recognized as a grave violation of the human rights of girls and women, as affirmed by numerous international legal instruments. FGM represents an extreme infringement on the rights to dignity, life, health, and integrity of women and girls. It does not only perpetuate gender inequality and discrimination, but also poses significant risks to their physical and psychological well-being, sexual and reproductive health rights, and access to education. Despite domestic legislations in the Gambia prohibiting FGM, the practice persists. The 2015 amendments to the Women's Act was a significant step towards addressing FGM, but substantial efforts are still required to effectively eliminate this practice. While some progress has been made over the last decade, including the promulgation of an act against FGM, it is acknowledged that more work is needed to achieve achieve Sustainable Development Goal 5 and end FGM by 2030. The establishment of the Ministry of Gender, Children, Women, and Social Welfare is a significant step towards achieving a policy that is directed in advancing the sexual and reproductive health rights of women and children. Years of civil society advocacy have led to the formation of networks, lobby groups, youth-led initiatives, and media campaigns breaking the silence surrounding FGM. According to the 2018 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey, 5.6% of girls aged 0 to 14 years and 75.7% of women aged 15 and 49 years had undergone FGM. The 2019-2020 Gambia Demographic and Health Survey showed a slight decrease, with 73% of women aged 15 to 49 having undergone the procedure compared to 75% in 2013. The Gambia has ratified various international and regional instruments, including the Universal Convention on Civil and Political Rights, the International Convention on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and Others, the Women's Act of 2010 and its 2015 amendment contain provisions to protect people's rights that can be collectively used to combat FGM. The amendment also criminalizes the practice of FGM and specifies penalties. The National Women's Council is tasked with monitoring compliance. Emerging trends since the banning of FGM in 2015 indicates ongoing challenges. Discrete cutting, early cutting, and cross-border cutting are factors contributing to the practice's persistence. The Gambia has various opportunities to eradicate FGM, including a conducive international legal framework, the Women Amendment Act of 2015, strategic partners, the National Human Rights Commission, donor support, media engagement, male involvement, and community-led approaches. Efforts are needed to implement the national policy for the elimination of female genital mutilation, enact a comprehensive anti-FGM law, empower law enforcement, and integrate FGM-related content into formal education curricula. Honorable Speaker, it is essential to highlight the health consequences of female genital mutilation, as 76.3% of reproductive age women in the Gambia have undergone FGMC. These women face higher risks of postpartum hemorrhage, the need for cesarean section, perineal tear or episiotomy, and neonatal resuscitation. Immediate health consequences include infections, bleeding, severe pain, and shock, while long-term issues involve excessive scarring, infection, birth complications, sexual difficulties, and psychological trauma. Honorable Speaker, having said this, it is understood that all these are issues that are very close to home and have taken effect, and we've seen it in the experience of people, in their testimonies, and that inspired the move for me to stand here today and give this particular matter. On that note, I yield the floor.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for the deliberation. I will now open the floor to call on the honorable members who wish to contribute to the matter of the day to do so. Please be reminded that each honorable member has only 5 minutes, and I want to count on the assistance of the technical team to help us with the timing, and from there we'll forge ahead. Considering that the time right now is somewhere around 11:07, the discussions on the matter of the day shall actually elapse around 12:05. Honorable members that wish to contribute on this matter, should please do so by indicating their tags, and the clerk shall assist in registering the names of their constituencies, and we will go in such order.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to rise to observe that yesterday when we were doing our submission, at the initial stage, the Minister for Gender, Women Affairs was here, the Executive Director, National Youth Council was here, and many other duty bearers were here to listen to what we were saying. In the latter part, they disappeared. We were left to discuss within ourselves and on our own. Having heard from the Honorable Member for Sabiji, move the motion for such an important issue that is affecting the lives of women and girls, I believe it's important, it would have been more ideal and more important to have at least the executive director for the National Youth Council sit here and listen to what we say, and also, most importantly, the minister under whose purview falls the FGM, falls this bill, falls whatsoever motion that is already tabled before this assembly. We as youth parliamentarians, we are not here to sing songs, we are not here to complain, we are here to talk substance to power, talk substance to every duty bearer, so that we can reach at least a common consensus that we will all be beneficiaries in the latter part. But parliamentarians are left here. We are discussing amongst ourselves. In fact, we are talking to ourselves. Who is here to listen? Do we have a videography where the duty bearers will be listening? Or what is the mechanism? At least it would have been proper to have the Minister for Gender Affairs at least seated here. That will show us that what we are discussing, we reach to the duty bearers, and also show us that seriousness. Otherwise, I believe we are just talking to ourselves, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Your concern is valid. It would have been our wish to have all stakeholders here, and I would be very happy to inform you that letters have been sent to all the relevant stakeholders to be here. However, it is in their discretion to choose to be here or to choose not to be here. However, it is part of the sittings actions that after the sittings proper, we would have position papers, resolutions, and policy briefs distributed to all these stakeholders, and of course, have engagements with them, which will include sitting face-to-face with them to communicate what the young parliamentarians have come out with in terms of issues discussed. I totally agree that they should have been here and listened, irrespective of what they have at hand, in order to know what the young people are saying on these very important themes. Thank you so much for raising that concern, Honorable Member. Clerk, if you are done, we would proceed to hear from the parliamentarians that want to contribute on these issues. Please note that the number of parliamentarians will be selected on the basis that we should not go beyond 12:05. Thank you. Thank you very much, honorable members. May I now invite Honorable Member for Opanyomi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Good morning, Honorable members. I believe the motion on hand is topical and relevant to discuss issues around FGM and protecting, inhuman treatment that are meted on women is very relevant, and I think it needs to be discussed. So if we talk about issue of FGM, people always brings about religions, brings about other things. But to me, I believe, Honorable Speaker, this is just a tradition. And this tradition can be changed because of it has a lot of impact, bad impact on the life of the woman. Because of, based on research, it has no health benefit on women. And women are enduring a lot of difficulties because of this bad practice. Owing to the fact that we all understand, there are traditions that we found our forefathers or the people or our grandparents were practicing. Now we are not practicing them because we believe that they are bad. But why still, we are stick to FGM, and we understand it is very inimical. It is very, it is affecting the life of the woman. So I think, and there are policies, there are laws. For example, you look at 2015 Women Bill that was passed to prohibit the female circumcision. But still, people are adamant. People don't want to, desist from this practice. And it is causing a lot of difficulties in our societies. And there are policies, there are rules and regulations. So as a society, I believe, we have policies, we have laws that guides our modus operandi. And I believe, whatever we are doing, it must be within the provision of the law. It must be within the provision of the Constitution. I believe, Honorable Speaker, it's high time, we try to implement these laws so that people who are involved or the culprit who doing such practice are brought to justice, because of that's very important, because you can't continue, maltreating women. We keep on saying, okay, women empowerment, but still we have seen a practice that is not, supported by any religion. It is just a tradition. That is, belief, and it is deep rooted. Some people, nobody can tell you the reason for this and where it started. But still, the moment you talk about FGM, people will come up with, religious sentiment and the like. This is a practice that there are certain things we meet our forefathers doing. We, graduate from those things because we believe they are bad practice. So I believe, Honorable Speaker, it is important for us as young people, we try to spread this message and talk to our elders, talk to people who do not understand the impacts and the bad effects of this practice, to understand it is causing a lot of problem to our women. You see some girls, they are enduring problems in birth, during birth, or sometimes even when they have intercourse, they have difficulties because of this practice. Despite we are men, we are not affected, but still I believe, if something is affecting our partners or our women, it should be our concern. So we should all come together. We come up with more proactive policies, not only to design the policy or design the law without implementing it. So I believe there is a law already, but implementation is lacking. So if we want to address this issue of FGM, let us, forget about, individual differences. We understand this practice is affecting our women. It is not helpful. There's no health benefit. So if we want to stop it, we have to come collectively, forget about, religious differences, coming up with, strong theories that are not facts. Some of the people want to continue this because it's a tradition. We believe that it will make the girl child
point of observation.
Honorable Member, as I said, no member is allowed to interrupt, as it is not a debate. Please allow the Honorable Member to continue. Thank you.
Yes, like this is like some people, they don't have fact why they are doing this. It's because of it's a deep-rooted tradition. That's why they are following it. So I believe, there are traditions that are bad, and this is from them. So it's important also to this is from FGM. We understand it is not helpful, and there's no health benefit. So, Honorable Speaker, I would advise this Honorable House to pass the motion that FGM and any other inhuman treatment to be stopped against women, and let the government come up with more proactive.
Honorable Member, your time is up. Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call on Honorable Member for Birkama North.
I would start with the ancient Arabic saying, Al-ilmu qabla al-qawl wal-amal. It is always important for one to have knowledge before they speak.
Honorable Member, do you mind saying that in English?
That is what I'm saying. That's
Okay,
what I'm
thank
saying. It is always important for one to have knowledge before they speak or start doing. Few people you see people flying all over saying, okay, this is not religion, this has to do with tradition. It is wrong. It's not true. I don't know where they get it. In fact, in religion, in Islam, the issue of women's circumcision, like I like to call it, because they give it mutilation to make it look bad. Mutilation. We all know English word mutilation is bad. But it's circumcision. That is how we describe it. And in Islam, women's circumcision is between two things. Some believe it is compulsory. Some believe it is recommended. Bad is far away from it. Now, for example, when you look at Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik, most of us in West Africa, we follow Imam Malik. Imam Malik and Abu Hanifa both said it's recommended in Islam. And when you look at Shafi'i and Hanbali, they said it is compulsory, it is obligatory upon everyone. Women, men to do it. So do not stand here and bore us with those things to say it is cultural. That is not the case. I believe, like said here yesterday, people are focusing more of their energy, useful energy, on things that are of no relevance. we have been encouraged always by the activists to allow women that want to use contraceptive pills that can damage their immune systems. We've been encouraged. The doctors are encouraged to allow women that want to use those pills 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, so that they will be prevented from having babies. But what are the repercussions of those pills? They wouldn't say. It is important to go against those things because they can cause huge calamity. Prostitution. These are things that are allowed. How many sexually transmitted diseases can be transmitted by prostitution? Because you have a lot of sexual partners. If these diseases are transmitted, how many more people are going to die from them? I believe it is important for us to focus our attention on those relevant things and leave FGM or leave female circumcision and our religions alone. We are religious people. We should stay by religion. Do not allow anyone to come and want to influence you with their flimsy ideas. I think NYP has a lot to do. And I was pretty disappointed about NYP when only few individuals sat at one point, I don't know where, wrote on behalf of everybody to say NYP says FGM is banned, should be banned, and nobody should speak about promoting FGM. We did not know about it.
Honorable member, please focus on the subject.
This is the subject.
Can you listen to me? The matter at hand is the discussion on the FGM. Issues of administration of the National Youth Parliament. Listen, issue of administration of the National Youth Parliament is discussed at an administrative level. You understand? And if you are conversant with the leadership of the National Youth Parliament, you will understand that the leadership is allowed to make decisions on behalf of the Parliament. So please focus on your submission and move away from such. If you do not want to focus on that, then it is better you resume your seat and we listen to other.
Honorable Speaker,
Thank you.
Speaker, I think you should open the door for people to speak their minds. Do not want to cage us. We cannot do that. Allow us to speak our minds.
Honorable member, you're allowed to speak your mind.
That's what I'm doing. Allow me
Just
to do it,
listen
please.
to me. Listen to me. What I'm saying is issues of administration and governance at the NYP is not issue for debate in the Parliament. The issue for, listen to me, the matter at hand is the issue of FGM. You might want to focus on submitting your ideas and opinions on the matter, just as you are doing. Don't go into issues of administrative governance at NYP, because these are issues that we discuss at our own level. You understand? Please go ahead. Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Time is not up. The time is not. This is unfair. This is unfair. Please, you must allow me to speak.
Honorable member, your
You cut
time
me.
is
You took from my time. Please,
Honorable member, your time is up. Thank you for your submission.
please give me time to speak. We have
Honorable
come here
member.
to speak on the national. You can't just want people to speak that are in your favor. You have to allow some of us who are on the contrary to speak. Please don't do that. Allow me to speak.
Okay, thank you, honorable member. We have a technical team helping us in controlling the time.
No, but then you should not plunge into my time.
Because you were going outside the topic.
I wasn't going anywhere. I was speaking on point exactly. I was speaking on point. You just cut me to distract me, honorable. You should allow me to speak, honorable speaker.
Honorable
please.
member, you are causing nuisance in the Parliament. Please resume your seat.
This is
You will have
unfair. I must tell you, I'm going to resume my seat, but I must
Thank you.
have
Thank you, honorable member.
is
Thank you, honorable member. Thank you, honorable member. Honorable members of the House, I just want to emphasize that the NYP operates on the principles of freedom of expression. Anyone that is here is allowed to actually express yourself freely.
Honorable-
You cannot interrupt the honorable speaker, please. Thank you. Honorable members, everyone is allowed to speak freely in whatsoever topic that you believe, but we are advised by our standing orders and constitution to ensure that whatever we speak is in line with our practices, our core values, and our rules and procedures. If any member is going out of hand in terms of procedure, it is my duty as honorable speaker to bring you back to your feet so that you can be on the right path. I've been doing that from last year to yesterday throughout the sittings, so it's very normal for me to continue doing that. I want to appeal to everyone here. You have just 5 minutes to speak. If you spend the entire 5 minutes countering, you might not have the opportunity to communicate exactly what you want to communicate. So I just want to appeal to all the honorable members here to remain and stick with the time, but also to ensure that we follow the guidelines that are being set as far as the matters of the day is concerned. Thank you so much. May I now call on Honorable Member for Lower Flood West.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. It's quite an honor to discuss on such a sensitive matter. And I would have really loved that you gave Honorable Speaker for Brikama not to have completed his point, because I was always ready to go against his point, because there is one thing that always occur in my mind, and which is, I think our religious leaders nowadays are disrespecting the values of Islam. Based on his submission, he made mention of two, whether preachers or whatsoever, in Islamic scholars. And he said, one said the FGM is recommended, the other said it is compulsory. And I believe Islam is a religion that speaks at one particular point and doesn't deviate. So if you are saying FGM, it's recommended at one point, and FGM is compulsory at another point, now you tell me, what part are we going to follow? Secondly, I know one thing for sure, that Islam is a just religion and won't support anything that has to do with violation of human rights. Women are undergoing pain through these processes, and I will want to put it to all our religious leaders. If at all being a religious leader includes cutting off a part of our fingers, not even our genital areas, part of our fingers, how many of them will be ready to take that patrol in being
Honorable Member, no interruptions are allowed during the deliberations. Thank you. Please go ahead, Honorable Member.
All right. It is said FGM is a sunnah, but I believe Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, none of his daughters undergo the process of FGM. And I believe he is a prophet that does the right thing. He only doesn't do things which are right, which possibly have not come through his path when he was alive. But FGM, I believe, was no way a hadith or a sin. A hadith is normally authentic saying of the prophet, while sunnahs are his doings. If at all FGM was accepted by Islam, and we all know Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a just man, why then all his female daughters were not mutilated? We should put that into consideration. So therefore, based on this few points that I've mentioned, I think female genital mutilation is a no-go area. And I want to put it to this assembly that most of the time, our regional leaders have conflicts, especially when it comes to Ramadan. And they come out here, speak against it, that FGM should be encouraged. If at all they know the religion, why is it that in other countries, fasting is done in 1 day, and here, fasting is done in 2 days? When it's at the starting, some places start A, others start B. If at all they know exactly what is in the Quran and exactly know how to quote what is there, why then are we in the Gambia fasting at 2 different days? At the start, please do not distract my speech. Why are we fasting in 2 days if they believe they know the religion? The issue of FGM, I believe, is just cultural belief of these leaders and not regional. So therefore, thank you for giving me the floor.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable nominated member for West Coast?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Before getting into what I have here, I just want to say this. We come from constituencies and we come from communities. Those elected might or will know they are not elected based on coming here to discuss religion. If that were the case, they could have contested in various religious institutions that they would have actually fit in. And if a matter is brought, they could have contributed using those institutions. Secondly, when it comes to issues of, we are talking about issues of national development. We are talking about issues of women. We are talking about issues that has to go with instruments that are ratified. So we are not, and in doing that, you don't take it personal. I feel like some people are taking it personal, and this is not a personal thing. And secondly, I wonder how men, or how comes you're not a woman, you're not a girl, you want to tell me you know issues of women better than women themselves. It's sometimes funny. You come here, you do not have clitoris, you do not have a vagina, you want to tell us exactly this is what is happening. I know this should not happen. You're not going through it. You don't even know how it feels. And you see, sometimes we have to look at some people and their actions. You see, any man that insist, if a woman tells you, I know my problem, you say, no, I know your problem more than you. I know my problem, you know, I know your problem. The man should be checked. It's not normal. A normal person would not do that. You want to tell me you know me better than myself? You're not feeling what I'm going through. Going back, looking at this country, like we said, the Women Amendment Act, we also have the Gambia to consent or ratify various international regional instruments. In as much as that is done, I still go back to saying the implementation process. You see, if this was properly implemented, we would not even have been here to push and pull, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. And just to put everything in a nutshell, still now, the provision stands. If you believe, or if you think you can do FGMC, go home and do it. Do it and see. The next day you will be arrested because the provision is still ongoing. It has not been recalled. And secondly, if you believe it is a religious obligation, if you believe you can challenge, there is something on the media, 10,000. Go openly, challenge and see if you would. Since that challenge was put onto media, we've not seen anyone that have come in the open to say, okay, this is it, these are my evidences and stuff. So what I really want to put is to say, speak on matters that you understand. Speak on matters that you know. Speak on facts. Speak on data. Do not speculate. These are not things that you imagine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now invite Honorable Member for just one.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Well, I am disappointed that there are people that are still supporting FGMC, majority of which are men that don't even go through it. You know, you being circumcised does not mean it's the same circumcision that women go through. Because when you are circumcised, it's a skin that is removed from your sex organ. And it is an organ that is removed from the female genitalia. It's different. And that organ is full of sensory nerves. You can imagine cutting it off, the pain that that woman will go through. Don't even go through half of it. And you're here telling me FGM is something that should be practiced. And there are some women that are like, okay, I have been through FGM. Nothing happened to me. I have delivered safely. I have so many children. Gis nga lula jigut kenen. Moto do male do ma baluri. It's different. What happens to you is not what is happening to another person. And some sexual related complications that you go through and infections may be due to FGM and you don't even know it. And you are like, I'm healthy, nothing has happened to me. And you know, FGM is just culture. And culture is a mindset that can change. A lot of cultural practices have been done and they were inhuman. And it changed along the line. So why can't we stop this inhuman practice that we are doing? And FGM has no good effect. When you ask someone, what is the positive effect of FGM, the person will tell you, reducing sexual desires, which is meant to prevent them from getting pregnant out of wedlock. And the same person, you can ask the same person, the person knows about 10 girls that have been through FGM and got pregnant out of wedlock. And the same person knows about 10 people that have not gone through FGM and did not get pregnant out of wedlock. So what are you telling me? FGM has no good effect. This practice has to be stopped. And National Assembly members were here. Some of them were like, FGM, the ban on FGM should be decriminalized. We want to harm more of our girls. We want to harm more of our women, more of our future leaders. Truly speaking, I am so disappointed that a lot of men.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Good morning, honorable members of this House. This is a sensitive issue, and I believe we all have seen what has happened at national level and at the National Assembly as well. But these are issues that we men do not go through, despite the fact that we have gone through circumcision. And if we stand here to also talk about religion, it's our right to do so. But personally, I've been making a lot of researches on this issue, and I believe I had a conversation with someone that is educated about Islam and shared with me a story of a time where the Prophet once met a woman that was doing this practice and told the person, please don't ask me the hadith, and told the person, do not cut completely. Do not cut completely. And if the Prophet said that, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that do not cut completely, simply means that it is not something that is fact, one, and it is something that we should look into too as well. Now, if we come to our generation and we have a lot of testimonies saying that it is really harming the women and our girl children, Islam does not support anything that is harming people. Honestly, we know that Islam is a religion of peace, is a religion of love. So if this is not a fact...
Point of observation, sir.
It seems like some people don't know rules.
Honorable members, please, your honorable members, you should be exemplary. When we set rules, there are rules. Do not interrupt, please. Thank you. Honorable member, you might continue.
So we should with the House.
Honorable member, please, understand rules. Allow me to submit. As I was saying, so if it is not farata, as the honorable member said, Imam Malik and Hanifa, we have learned this back in school. These are two great religious scholars. Recommended, if you understand English really, and I'm an English major, recommended does not simply mean is by force, it should be. It's recommendation. And recommendation can be taken and be withdrawn as well. So if the women that are going through it are saying that it is really ruining them, it's harming them, and it's also reducing, how can you reduce sexual desire? Even Islam that we are talking about, you know, encourages us to have fun with our women. I want to have fun with my woman. Let us allow them so that we can have fun when we are married. And the other thing too as well is, we have seen doctors that have made researches on this issue. And allow me, Honorable, I'm going to use Standing Order 23 to make reference.
Please go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Patrick and Dr. Mustafa Bitey and Dr. Amitej made a research. And when they made the research, they discovered that 76.3 reproductive age women have undergone FGM in this country. And in that particular number, they made a survey of getting 1,569 women randomly, you know, and in their research, they get to find out that 77% out of this number have undergone FGM type C. We have FGM type 1, 2, 3, you know, and the likes, type 3. So type C means the last one. And out of that particular number that you are seeing, those that have not gone through FGM, when they go to labor, 9.4% will not go through excess bleeding. And if you understand what excess bleeding simply means, you lose blood to that extent. And here, we do not even have people that are donating blood. So to that extent. So you have FGM1, 18.3 will have excess loss of blood. That is the type 1, FGM. FGM2, 22.9 will have excess loss of blood. And FGM3, which is type C, 43.9% will have excess loss of blood. Loss of blood. Honorable members, we are talking about people dying in labor because they have undergone this FGM. And we are here in the house and saying that we should not talk about the issue. Our people are dying. And statistics have it that back in the days, 100,000 women that have undergone labor, 1,000 people will lose their life. 1,000 out of the 100,000 will die through labor. And me and you know how many generations of leaders.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Your time is up. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Janjambure.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Female genital mutilation or cutting. The practice has no health benefits for girls and women. It causes severe bleeding. Okay. Honorable Speaker, if we are here talking about FGMC, and kedol biye ka fonyo ko FGMC nyanta kelal am kulti miyal na ka nyanta kelal dantara kurano kono imantara dimu fil ka wala bani be dimu fil ka ina tara jang we want to push and pull with people because of FGMC fongale ne bang musol min ka falebo dinol min ka falebo because of FGMC. FGMC is a discrimination against women and girls.
Sorry, Honorable Member. Thank you for your submission. May I now invite Honorable Nominated Member for URR.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The Honorable Member for Janjamburi have just shows that he who feels it knows it better. Those that stand here and defend FGM, I don't know much about religion. I cannot defend myself based on religion. But anything that affects us is not religion. Those that are saying here, we should focus more on those that are doing prostitution, taking contraceptive. Those young girls who have gone through FGM, how old were they when they are going through FGM? Was their consent? Were they asked whether they wanted to? At which age were they circumcised? Their rights have been violated at a very early age. You don't know whether you want it. You don't know whether it's beneficiary. Many people that have gone through FGM in this house, if it was today that you have to go through FGM, none of us will do it. If that is the case, those that are doing prostitution, they are mature enough, they know what is good for them, they know what is bad for them. They choose to do so. But our guys are circumcised at a very early age, which means that they don't even know what is happening. What about those that did not go through FGM? Did they die? Did anything happen to them? Are they not giving birth? Are they not getting pregnant when they are married? So what is the difference? What is it when you are not circumcised? What? Either you go through FGM, you don't go through FGM. All those cases of teenage pregnancies in our community are those that go through FGM and they are well sealed. We know that most of them. So what is the essence of saying that FGM is done to reduce the sexual pleasures of young girls? Reducing my sexual pleasure meaning that you are seizing my right from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Sabah Sanjal?
Honorable Speaker,
Yes, honorable member.
with all due respect, I want to rise on a point of order.
Yes.
Okay, according to our standing orders, section 50, paragraph C, I wish to refer the Honorable Speaker to that section.
Please kindly repeat the clause.
The clause 50, paragraph C.
Clause
50, 50.
Yes.
Paragraph C.
Yes.
That the House Committee should look into the actions of the Honorable Speaker, and I believe the Honorable Speaker is acting out of his powers as given to him by the standing orders and our Constitution, by dissenting on the freedom of expression of members. It's my candid opinion that the Honorable Member for Birkama was not given the due respect from the Speaker as required by our standing orders. But I believe that the Honorable Speaker is taking a left-wing side with regards to this FGMC that is here. The Honorable Member for Birkama has every right to talk about issues here as far as section 58 of our standing orders is concerned. I will read with your permission. That there shall be freedom of speech. That there shall be freedom of speech. Shall, in mandatory terms, like I said yesterday. This is not your language. It's not my language. It's the language of the rules of this house. That there shall be a freedom of expression. And also, that the parliament and the freedom of expression shall not be impeached, either by the Speaker or any other person living within this house.
Thank you very much, honorable member.
I still have another point of order to raise with regards to this same thing.
Okay.
I wish that you accommodate.
You can rise on a point of order again. Please allow me to make a ruling on this.
I am not done with my point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Your point of order was on order 50.
Order 50, and I said I also reading alongside with point 50.
Okay, please go ahead.
Oh, very good. I said the Honorable Member for Birkama has every right to his freedom of expression with regards to any motion that is tabled before this Parliament. And I want to read it alongside with section 58, which guarantees that the Honorable Member for Birkama has the right, his freedom of speech shall not be infringed upon by any other authority or person in this house. And I believe that's what exactly you did. And I also call on the House Committee to discipline the Speaker for doing what we all believe is outside of his responsibility. I believe the Honorable Speaker has to be disciplined, and it's important you exercise decorum, Honorable Speaker. You cannot be emotional. Your responsibility before this House is to moderate, and you are not doing that, Honorable Speaker, with all due respect. I wish to submit that you give every parliamentarian the opportunity to express freely. We all should not be talking in the same line. We have different perspectives and opinions, which must be respected. I urge you with all due respect, Honorable Speaker, with regards to these two standing orders I raised before you, give members the opportunity to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable member. Even though you have, sold a position on a different side, you have done it with maturity and respect for the House. This is what is expected of every honorable member. It is impossible for all of us to be on the same side. Yesterday's motion, we had stiff arguments, some people supporting, some people going against, but you do it with respect and with respect for the House. This is not a market, this is a parliament. You must act in order. And like you have mentioned, it's my duty to moderate. And the moderation includes that if someone is going out of line, I bring you back to line. That is my duty here. Now, with respect to standing order 50 that you have actually looked at, you don't read these standing orders in isolation. Standing order 50 sub 2D has clearly indicated that the House committee shall meet in private. The reason this is provided is to ensure that issues of administration, issues of leadership, issues of how our NYP is governed are discussed at that level. Such should not be washed away in the parliament, which you all understand is a public platform. It is normal for national youth parliamentarians, each national youth parliament here, member here, to have a dissenting view in terms of what is discussed, and you're free to say it. But issues of administration and leadership and governance should please remain within the NYP. Anything that you want to say for or against, feel free to say it. We've been having that here. This is not the first day that we're having sensitive topics like this.
Point of order,
I wanted
Honorable
to-
Speaker.
You don't interrupt the speaker. I've said that several times. Thank you. So whatever that we are discussing here should be things that is outside of our administration as far as youth parliament is concerned. There is no one there sitting to listen to how we govern ourselves at the NYP. That was what I was laying emphasis on. And with respect to each of the matters of the day, there are guidelines on how these things happen and how it's different from when we put up a motion for debate. That is why we set times in terms of how much we can talk. That's why also for how long we can talk, considering that we have a lot of other motions that we are supposed to look at. So the idea is to have matters of the day and have submissions in this regard and close up from there and move to other motions. Just to remind you, we have only today left in our sittings. If we spend all the time on one item, it means we are taking the risk of not talking about another important thing that has been identified from our constituency consultations. So I want to appeal to everyone that our right to freedom of expression is not a right that should be abused. It is a right that everyone should exercise, but with maturity, with respect for others, and with respect, of course, for the authority that has been given to the speaker to moderate this session, as it is mentioned in our standing orders. And even the authority...
Honorable Speaker, you have no mandate to eat out of my time. You ate about 3 minutes of my time, you have not given it back.
Honorable member, you're not the only one who would speak, and I would direct you. If you have been directed, I think what is wise is to agree to that direction so that your time will not elapse. But if you choose to take the time to go back and forth with the honorable speaker, that onus is not on me. And I want to appeal to everyone. You're saying that I'm being emotional. That might be true. But I think the way I speak right now is the way that I would speak if anyone takes the mic and says things in a mature, professional manner, and in a manner that will respect the standing orders of the parliament and, of course, the sanctity of this very honorable house. So I thank you so much for raising that concern. I would go on to call on the next honorable member to make a submission. Honorable member for Sabah Sanja.
Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, I would say women and young girls' life matters. And I believe this honorable house should conscious and inform about the dangers around FGMC. We are all, and we have male and female here in the house. But I believe even if the male child is undergoing circumcision, you know how do you feel when your genital parts, some part of it are cut. However, we all know that women are the pride of our nation. And we don't debate on that, not so. So I will use the provision of Section 28 to come up with my points. Tey ñu ngi wax FGMC. But man dama foog ne lii wartu nekk debate wala wartu nekk li nga xamante dañ koy xëccoo wante fii. Because soo xoolee tey jigéen ñi jamono nga compare ak léegi góor amatul benn yërmande si jigéen. And that is the hard fact. Loolu mooy dëgga ñoom ñoo ñu jur wax dëgg yàlla si lu leen neex leen war a dox and FGMC is against them loolu baaxu si seen dunda bi fu nekk mën na leen faa yóbba am na ñu see dee soo xoolee honorable member for Serekunda wax na ko fi ba docteur si defee seen researches li ñu wax every 100,000 sin delivery 100,000 thousands of women ñoo dee dee. So if we are continue allowing that to happen, what are we telling our nation?
Honorable Speaker, this guy is misleading the house. Please, we cannot allow that to happen.
Honorable member, please observe the rules set for the matter.
Oh my God. This is
Honorable member, if you persist on this, you'll be asked out of the house. Thank you. Continue, honorable member.
Yeah, man ñëw ma fii pour dafante dama ñëw pour wax kàddu yoo xamante leen ma yóbbante. Wolof Njaay mu ne yóbbante wax ko la sant mbaa jëf ko man na dama ñëw pour wax ak jëf because ndawi Sabah Sanja jigéen yëpp they are listening on me so ma continuer ku am lu la nakari nga faju ko feneen. All right, tey su xoolee FGMC and nga xool yeneen inhuman treatment yi nga xamante ni la jigéen ñi du dund seen kër yi dafa tar dafa métti, and it is alarming. It is high time for us to take action as young parliamentarians. It should start from us. We should advocate for the ending of FGMC, and I believe from here we should not talk about FGMC, and I believe from here since they may in various constituencies didn't make sure that they didn't raise awareness to ensure people needed in the mat on the FDMC. It is bad. So whole days, man, I'm a PhD educator. Man, at first I never knew about FGMC, but then when I was trained about FGMC, I feel dama am yërmande si jigéen ñi, dama over am yërmande si jigéen ñi, because jigéen dañ ko war a tëral trangal ko. soo xoolee jamono prophet jigéen dañ ko doon trangal tëral ko. Prophet Muhammad mu ngi ne wax ne mu ñoo roy dafa trangal jabaram ba sonn. Somebody said it here. Doomam mi amul kenn ko dem on the FGMC. Kan la si? There's nobody who will tell me that Prophet Muhammad's daughters have undergone FGMC. None of you. Gis nga affaire yi Islam moo ñu nekk di mislead ñun ñu bari, because jànguñ ba pare bëgg a jàngal nit yi. Balaa ngaa ñëw fii di wax something about Islam, make researches yoo xamante ni they are concrete. And here, man, I believe here is not an religious arena. It's not a religious arena. Fi arena la boo xamante ni we discuss issues affecting us as young people. And women, they are part of the young people in the country. If we want the country to develop, my friend, we must empower women and we must respect their rights. Man yaay moma jur, and I know what it takes. 15 days of nagala in labor, 9 months of pain. Lol ku ko xalaatu looy xalaat. And none of us here do jël sa doom mu yóbbu ko fële ñu koy kot. FGMC is bad. Definitely, I don't support FGMC in any way. And there is nobody on earth who can convince me to support FGMC. Nobody on earth. Even if you are paying me millions, I will not support FGMC. Luma fi fekkee nag ma jël. So, ladies and gentlemen, ale ñu xoolaat seen boppa. ñu xam ne definitely the matter is sensitive. And now we need solutions to the problem. There are provisions that the Constitution provides. Let us remind ourselves with those Constitution provisions to ensure the practitioners stop FGMC. That's what we want as parliamentarians. We are not here to say blah, blah, blah. We are here to make sure that we end FGMC. And I'm in support of whosoever said FGMC should stop. I am in support of you. Don't give me butut for free. Power to the people.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I will now call on order in the House. Order. I will now call on Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Honorable Speaker, ana yërmande bi ñooy oote si jigéen ñi fii ku fi nekk am nga yaay am nga raka bu jigéen am nga bàjjen am nga sista so lu tax góor yi war a taxaw di wax ne pratiques boo xam ne daf ñoo xam dañ ko war a def si jigéen ñi ana yërmande bi ñooy oote si jigéen ñi. Honorable Speaker, FGM does not only affect women but it also affects men, because imagine yow nga taka jabar nga wara am time ak sa jabar, so bala ngay am time ak sa jabar yaa ngi sofa xoolal yow trauma bi ngay nekk di go through ak pain bi ngay cause sa jabar ndax loolu dafa neex si xol. So nekkee góor am xam naa ñu nekk di wax ne FGMC dafa baax maybe ñooñu seen jabar going through FGMC, because sa jabar su ko going through yow nga gis pain bu moo dem. Honorable Speaker, I don't think ne di nga toog nga wax ne FGMC dafa baax. Honorable Speaker, women go through FGM a lot when having sex with their husband and during delivery. Xoolal pain bi ngay am sooy am doom, even su fekkee ne sax yow you didn't go through FGM, pain bi ngay am rek léebu dafa metti. So góor yi ngir Yàlla am na yërmande si jigéen ñi. Honorable Speaker, nekkut traditional practice yep yu nekk di am dafa baax ci society bi te FGMC bokk na ci li nga xam ne dafa bon torop because pain bu jigéen yi di go through wax dëgg neex yàlla dañ ko war a xoolaat so maa ngi urge government bi mu emphasize ci FGMC nañ ko baan ku def FGMC ku ko practice ne la tëj ci kaso bi amul negotiation sax. Honorable Speaker, one thing I want to call our attention is that the Gambia is not an Islamic state, but a secular state with majority of Muslims. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Upper Florida West?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. It is disappointing to hear men who are supposed to safeguard our rights and welfare advocating for a practice that is harmful to our life. Honorable Speaker, female genital mutilation, which involves the partial and total removal of the parts of the female genitalia, is a violation of the fundamental human rights of women and young girls that is deep-rooted in gender equality and discrimination. Honorable Speaker, female genital mutilation has so many complications, and I am glad that during the submissions by my fellow parliamentarians, some of them gave some of the complications of female genital mutilation. Honorable Speaker, most women are dying they are suffering in their marital homes just because of the complications of female genital mutilation. Yes, you don't expect me to satisfy my husband or be satisfied if you remove my clitoris, you remove my labia majora and my labia minor. These are the sexual organs. These are the organs in women that help them in attaining pleasure in marriage. So this practice is even affecting both men and women because it's forcing most men to go out and have extramarital affairs outside because they are not attaining the pleasure that they deserve in their marital homes. Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I would like to give the report that was given by Bafro and also to give the statement on Women's Amendment Act.
Please proceed.
Thank you so much. The Gambia has one of the highest FGM prevalence rates in West Africa. And the Foundation for Research on Women Health and Productivity and the Environment, that is BAFRO, reported that out of 7 of the country's 9 ethnic groups practice female genital mutilation. Honorable Speaker, in 2015, the Women's Amendment Act was amended to explicitly criminalize FGM under Section 32A and B respectively. Honorable Speaker, the Women's Amendment Act 2015 prohibits FGM, stating that, I quote, "A person shall not engage in female circumcision. A person who engages in female circumcision commits an offense and is liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term of 3 years or a fine of $50,000 or both. And where female genital mutilation causes death, the person is liable to life in imprisonment." Honorable Speaker, since the enactment of the law banning FGM about 8 years ago, the first conviction happened in my region, that is CRR, in August 2023, where 3 women were convicted for carrying out FGM on about 8 girls, and they were fined to pay. They were ordered to pay a fine of about $15,000 or serve 1 year life imprisonment. And the law, it's even lenient on them because the law stated that if you are caught practicing female genital mutilation, you should be in jail for 50 years or you are going to serve 3 years time in jail, or you are going to pay both and pay the 50,000 and also serve your term in jail. But I don't know why they were asked to pay 15,000 or 1 year in jail. And this brings us to the enforcement of the law. This shows that there is leniency with regards to the enforcement of the law. And Honorable Speaker, the civil society organizations are trying their best in order to eliminate this practice, even though it is already eliminated. But we have all seen last time our senior honorable members were here and discussing about the issues.
And it's so disappointing to hear from other people, other women especially, saying that they are not affected. They were circumcised, they got all their kids, and they have no complications. But something not affecting you doesn't mean it didn't affect others. There are many people who are suffering from complications of FGM. Some are quiet because they don't want to be discriminated in the society. Some are going through fistula. Others go through severe pain during childbirth. So my recommendation, in order to eradicate the practice of FGM, there should be a lot of awareness creation. And yes, the law should be enforced to the fullest. We need to challenge stereotypes and promote a society that values the rights and well-being of all women, because we deserve to enjoy our marital homes. We deserve to be protected.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Your time is up. I now call on Honorable Member for Basse.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, it is a matter of the day. And you can see the House is so much divided. As the popular saying goes, Songkata caring, Kalata caring, Kachapali Alava caring. Indeed, that is the truth. Honorable Speaker, from my constituency consultations, my people recommended that there should be an intergenerational dialogue on FGM because it calls a concern for them. Because the country is going so divided in a simple fact that our women are suffering, but many people fail to understand the issues affecting them. So I also urge this House to pass a resolution to call on people for an intergenerational dialogue, for everyone to sit and we discuss. We understand the issues affecting our young women. I think that will help this country to move. But always divided on these issues affecting our women is not helpful. Tonya, musol leba batare, anu musol leba bataka. Adila batara da, bol nyanda ka lonne. Femfende mula tora kodi nyanda ka sute fele, ibo kumbukan femfende na nyanda ka sute. Moving from that, Honorable Speaker, inhuman treatment in this country is going to rise, especially the children in the rural Gambia. To say, in my constituency, just recently, a child was denied going to school. She was sent to a Lumo. Coming from a Lumo, she was engaged in an accident. The girl was so young, going to grade 7 in a new school. And many of them have been denied. Because of what? Because of what? Money. So it's really sad. Children in the rural Gambia are affected. Young girls who should be going to grade 10, grade 11, grade 12 have been taken on child marriage.
Honorable Speaker, you ought to have interrupted the Speaker because he is deviating from the topic, like you did to me.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I want to refer you to the other paper on the discussion. Inhuman treatment is part of our discussion today. Thank you.
Honorable Member, become not. Atakung. Boleh kacala. So nyanda kau nyoba paham ya. Honorable Speaker, these children, there should be special attention to the rural children. And our partners are here in this room. Please help us with our parents for them to understand the importance of girls' education, and the importance of girls' education is very important. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I now invite Honorable Member for Nyamina East.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. The topic in hand is very sensitive. For me, when we people talk about FGMC, sometimes I used to blame our mothers because they are the very one who are doing this thing to our young girls. And they know the harmful effect of this thing. Why are we practicing this? Going to labor, they are the one going to labor. They know the problem that our ladies are facing during labor. Why are they still practicing this? Why? And when acts or laws are being taken in place, we the men are going to suffer in that one. Because any day or any time that the law, we take them to law, we are the very people who are going to pay that money in order for them to go back to the communities. Then we should think about this thing around. We should sensitize our people, and sensitization has been done. Money has been given to those who are practicing this thing to lay down, to put down the knife on the ground. And still now, how much are they paid to do this thing? How much? Are they getting economy? Is it business for them? It is not giving them any money. A person is not going to pay $1,000, less than $500 or less than $100 per person to do that thing. And we are saying that we want to stop FGMC. We want to stop it, it's true. But we should go back to the grassroots level. Who are those people doing this thing? Let them come on board. We give them what they need so that they can stop it. If they did not stop this practicing, it will never stop. Because I myself would not know whether my daughter has been taken to FGMC or not. Because a small child, less than 1 month, you have been taken to FGM. I, the father, based here or outside, how would I know that my daughter has been taken to FGMC? How would I know? But our parents know, our mothers, those who are practicing this thing are our mothers. Now, what is the solution? What are we going to do now? Let's go back to them. This needs more sensitization if we want things to change. If you don't want things to change, we will not change, because you are the leader of those people who are doing this thing. I gone under FGMC, nothing happens to me. That's why I'm doing it to my daughters, all of them. Do you know what is happening to others? You don't know. The painful that is happening to you as a lady or as a female is not happening to me as a man. But you are the very one who know the painful that is affecting you during labor, and you want to tell me that me, the man, to stop saying that you should practice this thing. You should not practice this thing, whilst you are the very one who are causing this practice. Look at how things are going. Let us not practice FGMC, and you are the very people in turn going back doing this thing to your own daughters. Let's call it spade a spade. Gis nga nit ki bu leen sangul sa taar la la bëggal. Duñ nekk seen gannaaw di leen wax sangu leen te bëggu leen ay set. Il faut ngeen sangu. Il faut ngeen sangu ndax ngeen ñu mën a gis seen taar. Ndimbal na sa fekk loxol borom. Ndimbal na si fekk loxol borom. Nañ dimbale suñ bopp ñu dimbale leen. Waaye fekk li amut duñ mën a dem ci kanam. waa ji mu ne fukki nit di gas fukki nit di sul pënd mooy bëri rek waaye pax du am mukk. kon nañ wecci suñ jikko yi. wax ji bëri na suñ ekkatee mbir mi rek wax ji yëpp fu nekk da nga gisee wax waaye fan la ñoo mujjee zéro. duñ dem ndax lu ñoo wax nekkuñ di ko practicalize te wax soo waxee da nga war a jëf. wax bu amul jëf nag amul solo amul njëriñ. suñ toogee fii di wax suba ba ngoon ba bor set ñaata dees at the end of the day suñ def if there is no action, nothing is there. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Honorable Member. Ndax mbir baa ngi tànga torop kon di ngeen understand. kon ndegam wax baa ngi bëgg a bari te ñu ngi war a romba waxi tuuti danoo jël wax bu mujjanteel bi honorable deputy speaker.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Yes, honorable member.
Honorable Speaker, the way this motion is dealt with is somehow biased, because looking at these people who are in support of the motion are given chance to speak. Until you are happy, you are now calling this one a speaker. Let us please allow people to exercise their rights. We raise our tag and then people want to speak.
Point of order.
You know, we are in consultation to our regions. What in our constituency, what they said. Sorry, boy. What they said is what we are passing here.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, the honorable member for lower body should withdraw.
I am not going to withdraw this, Abdul. Sit down.
No, withdraw, because did he know who were the people that were going to say yes to this or not? Do you have a magnitude?
This was already a base.
It's an accusation. Withdraw it.
I'm not going to withdraw it.
To this
Order in the
house.
Order in the
Sit
house.
down.
Order in the house. I understand that this is a very sensitive issue, and sometimes we're charged naturally because we're naturally very emotional. But I just want to refer you back to our earlier discussion that we were taking limited number of submissions, and we've had some submissions here that do not necessarily support. We have also had some submissions that definitely support. Like I said in the beginning, if we actually allow everyone in the house to speak, we would not be able to forge ahead as far as the things that we want to do are concerned. And today is the last day of submission. Tomorrow is the extraordinary session of the National Assembly. We do not have neither the authority nor the permit to use the chambers tomorrow. I just want to appeal to the honorable members. The list that I'm going through here is the list that is provided by the clerks. And the same process was done yesterday. There were no complaints. So why must it be that the same process underwent today and there are complaints? I just want to please appeal to honorable members. Let's allow the deputy speaker to submit and we move to the next motion. And of course, in the next motion, the dynamics are different. You'll be able to talk more than you're able to talk now, and the motion after that, please. Thank you for your understanding.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Sorry, sir. You know, this is going to say that, you know, we all succumb to what is on the table. And
Remember,
it is not true. We did not succumb to it. All of us have different view on this matter.
Point of order.
So please, we don't all agree onto this.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Abduba.
Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members.
Let the honorable withdraw.
Honorable members, please, just
You are not there to order me to withdraw, Abdu.
order in the house. Honorable members.
Address me right,
Honorable
honorable
members,
member.
order in the house.
Honorable Abdu, you are not there to order me to
Order in
withdraw.
the house.
Thank you.
Honorable, don't disturb our sitting.
Order in the house.
To disturb us first.
Order in the house. Honorable members.
Honorable, after we will see outside.
Honorable member for Serekunda, that is inciting violence. Please withdraw. Honorable member for Serekunda, you're indicating that you see outside that incites violence. Please withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, I've said this sitting is not for joke.
Yes.
This sitting is the time of action. The Honorable Speaker cannot, these honorable members cannot come here distracting our sittings. And you
Honorable
are
Abdu, we know very well, and that's why we want to speak. We know very well.
Honorable
this is
members,
what-
you cannot use the mic sitting down, please. And you're not allowed to rise on a point of order.
No, honorable Speaker, I think that you are not addressing the honorable member right. The honorable member prophesies that he knew those that were going to say yes to this. That is wrong. Like, seriously, he has to withdraw. You
Honorable member,
we don't come here to
may
do.
I
Action
invoke-
speaks
may
louder
I-
than voice.
Order
Action
in the
speaks
house.
louder than voice.
Which action did you come
Action
up with?
speaks
Is
louder
the
than
sergeant
voice.
at arms with us here, please?
Are you a female?
I'm trying by all means to avoid invoking the unpopular clause. All of you know what that
I
is.
withdraw. I withdraw.
Thank you, honorable member. May I please inform this honorable house that we would forge ahead by listening to the deputy speaker. Thank
Sorry,
you,
Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, point of order. Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
I will appreciate it.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, please resume your seat, honorable deputy speaker. Yes, honorable member.
Honorable Speaker, you made mention of the fact that this is a very sensitive topic. I think that has necessitated it to be given, you shouldn't have placed it on the matters of the day. Since it was understood by yourself, it's a sensitive matter and everyone would want to give their submissions, why would you put it under the matters of the day to limit the number of people that would give their submission? And Honorable Speaker, I would want you to
Thank you so much.
I would want you to give me time to complete my submission, please.
Thank you so much. I've received your request,
Honorable
Honourable Member.
Speaker.
Order in the House, please. I've received your request to extend the time. I reject it. Thank you. Honourable Deputy Speaker, please.
Honourable Speaker, please. I'm here. You have all the discretion to do all what you want, but please allow me for 1 minute.
Honourable Member, you would have your time. Please, Honourable
No,
Deputy
you know,
Speaker.
when
go
you
ahead.
see talk, I will not talk again. It's very much important on what I'm coming to say.
I promise you, Honourable Member, you would have the opportunity to talk.
On this matter.
I'm not saying on this matter, but you have the opportunity to talk.
Honorable Speaker.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, please go ahead.
Thank you very much for giving me the floor, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, since 2016, all the demographic of this country are living, but Gambian women are surviving. We are only surviving. And every young woman in this parliament can attest to what I'm saying. We are only surviving. And I would agree with Honorable Ghazali. We as a country...
Honourable Member, Honourable Deputy Speaker, you might address him by the constituents.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker. I will want to agree with Honorable Member for Brikama North. And that is on he's right that as a country, we have more important issues to focus on rather than cutting off the clitoris. I think as a nation, we have a lot of transitional justice processes that we should complete. We have a lot of governance issues that we should settle. We have a lot of issues as a country that we should settle rather than being in the National Assembly or in the Youth Parliament talking about FGMC. And since I'm not a religious scholar, we will bank on the knowledge of our colleagues who are here. I will make reference to Honorable Ghazali's submission. He said...
Honourable Deputy Speaker, please address him by the constituents.
Honorable Member for Brikama North. And he said as a country, and we are following the Imam Malik school of thought, as most West African countries.
Point of order, I didn't say that. I didn't.
Thank you, please go ahead.
Fine, he didn't say it. I withdraw, Honorable Speaker. But my point is, the school of thought that the Gambia is following, that is the Imam Malik school of thought, only recommend, I want to give benefit of doubt to this argument, recommend FGMC. Why must we as a country invest our resources, invest our energy, invest our time to affect the lives of women on the basis of a recommendation that we can either take or leave? Why must we, if we are a serious nation? Honorable Speaker, since 2017, as a country, we have not only demoralized women, we have seen bills come to this parliament and they are thrown out. Bills to empower women and they are thrown out. But now we are not stopping there. Now we are saying we are even repealing bills. Sorry, we are even repealing laws that protects the rights and dignity of women. And we think we are serious as a country. We are saying we are not even giving you more rights. No. Now we are even repealing the ones that were there to protect you. We are not interested in empowering women. We know as a country we are not interested. But what we are pleading is, please, for the sake of God, for the laws that we have in place, that at least protects our rights and our dignity, leave it in our constitution to continue to protect our life and our dignity until we survive all this national crisis that is going on against women. And we will stand for ourselves and we will produce more laws that protect our rights, but that stands by our dignity. I am very emotional when I talk about this because it's disheartening, like most of the honorable members said, for people that did not have vagina, people that did not have clitoris, to have the guts to stand in parliament and defend FGMC. Like the honorable member for Busumbala was saying, sorry, the honorable member for Joshua, it is an organ that is cut from the women. The clitoris is not a skin to say cut the tip or cut 2 centimeters or cut 3 centimeters. It's an organ that have nerve ending, for God's sake. When you cut it, you have affected other nerve systems. So what is even the argument about? Are we serious as a country if we are to sit in the National Assembly talking of repealing the FGMC law? Are we serious when we have as young people, like the Honorable Member for Birkaman says, as a youth parliament to talk about issues that affect young people, but we are here talking about whether we should repeal FGMC or we should continue to protect the rights of women and girls. We are disappointed as young women in this country. But you know what? We are not giving up. We are standing by our rights. We are protecting our dignity until we see that things are done. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. At this juncture, I want to thank the Honorable Member for Larikunda Sabiji on the matter of the day and to all the
Honorable
honorable
Speaker.
members. Honorable Member, the time allocated for these contributions have elapsed. Please permit me to...
Just give me 30 seconds to say that.
Well...
Honorable Speaker, if you do, we're going to exhaust the list that you are having, please.
Honorable Speaker, I believe the time given has
Thank you,
elapsed long time ago. So if someone wants to give their submission, I think you should allow them because the time was 12:05 and that is gone.
Thank you. So the time being gone means we are totally out of time. Thank you so much for reminding me, Honorable Member for Birkama.
No, which should not happen. That's my point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You are right. It's not...
But you allowed it to happen. Honorable Speaker, please.
Point of order. Honorable Member for Birkama not. The Honorable Speaker is saying sorry. Let's move on.
Honorable, I think you ought to, Honorable Speaker, ought to have, Honorable Speaker, I think you ought to have disciplined this Honorable Member for Serakunda because he is not. He's not. You cannot address him directly.
Can you stand up and address the Speaker?
Honorable Member, can you rise up when addressing the Speaker?
Honorable members of the House, I am always very delighted when I'm reminded of the things that have happened that should not happen. I agree. We shouldn't have debated beyond 12 or 5. But we understand that when I'm here, I do not have a clock. I get reminded. And you just got me reminded that we have passed the time, which made me even feel bad right now that we debated above the stipulated time. Now you want me to increase in that lapse to debate more. That's what I'm raising here. Now that we are supposed to stop at 12:05, we passed that. We should count on the time that we should catch up with. So I just want to appeal to the honorable members, please, you would have the opportunity to really deliberate on the issues that are coming at hand. Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Member for Latikuna Sabi, for the matters of the day, and all the honorable members that have contributed on this matter of the day. We really want to acknowledge that this is definitely a very important issue, and it falls directly under the core values and operational pillars of the NYP in the promotion of sexual and reproductive health rights. I want to thank everyone for this contribution. Clerk, we may proceed.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Clerk, you may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to rise on a point of order. Honorable Speaker, I wish to rise on a point of order. I would call upon the clerk to assume his seat while I exercise my right under the standing orders to raise a point of order at any point.
Clerk, can you obey what he
I
said?
am on my feet, Honorable Clerk.
Honorable
with all due respect, Honorable Speaker, the clerk
Honorable Member, I've already announced that we should proceed. Clerk,
I
please
have
proceed.
a point of order, and a point of order can be raised at any point in time. I have a point of order.
That is
unless,
not when the...
Unless if you want to be dictatorial, I can assume my seat. A point of order according to our rules can be raised.
Honorable Member, you can raise the point of order in the next motion. The time allocated has elapsed, please.
I'm not talking. Do you know what I want to talk about? I have a point of order before the August.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on a point of order too as well.
Honorable Member for Serekunda, please resume your seat.
Honorable Member for Foni Jaro, please return to your seat. Let us
Honorable
continue.
Member for Serekunda, please resume your seat. Honorable Member for Foni Jaro, raise your point of order.
Thank you very much. I wish to raise on the point 24 of our rules. That's subsection 2. That the honorable members should exercise eternal vigilance before this august body to not allow members to bully other members. We've seen that happen before this august body today, and I will really urge you to exercise vigilance in ensuring that we have a smooth submission from every. We can put our points across without having to bully the other. Everybody, we have to understand, every parliamentarian here is entitled to their opinion, even though you might not be in full agreement with what your other parliamentarian would say. But let's just be democratic. Let's allow others to exercise their rights for which you are also given another opportunity to exercise. But I am very threatened by the trend that we have already taken with regards to the motion on FGMC. If the other motions goes the same way, I believe the Honorable Speaker will lose grasp of the Assembly, and we will disintegrate in the coming sessions. So I would urge you to exercise eternal vigilance, and also urge the parliamentarians, put your points across without having to bully the order. And we've seen that trend, you know, parliamentarians were given the ultimate opportunity. Parliamentarians stood, instead of talking substance, where they are busy bullying and also ridiculing what other parliamentarians who are entitled under our laws to what they say. So I would urge us to exercise.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Your concern is noted. Please, Honorable Member, exercise vigilance and maturity and professionalism and respect for the standing orders of the National Youth Parliament and the sanctity of the chambers of the National Assembly. On that note, Honorable Members, let me fully inform this House that I would never lose grip or grasp of this House. And you all know what that means. So please, you are reminded of this in order to remain in the Parliament to be able to actually do your debates and submissions. I do not have to tell you the consequences of disrupting this House because you already know them, you're familiar, and you can learn from experience. Thank you very much. Clerk, you may proceed.
Motion. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and adopt the motion for the government to take measures to enhance youth employment and curb irregular migration.
Clerk, please read the move of the motion.
This motion is moved by the Honorable Member for Combo South.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I rise on point of order, section 30, subsection 3. So I believe before we move on to the next motion, it will be ideal to hear Member for Latrikunda Sabi to reply on some of the comments. Then from there, we move to the next motion. Thank you.
Point of order.
Thank you. Honorable Member, allow me to do a ruling on the point of order. Thank you. Thank you so much for raising that point of order. However, this procedure only applies to motions. Instead, this is matters of the day, and it might not require that. Thank you so much. Honorable Member for Combo South, you may proceed.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to submit this motion before honorable members. I rise on standing order point 4, subsection 2F, to move the motions which reads, be it resolved that the August Assembly do consider and adopt the motion for the government to take measures to enhance youth employment and curb irregular migration.
Honorable Member, please go ahead to state the reasoning for the motion.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. May I have this opportunity to take reference from my research material in order to give substance to my submission?
Please proceed.
Thank you. According to United Nations Population Division, estimated the population of the Gambia in 2023 is estimated to move around 2.7 million. The World Bank Human Capital Report 2023 also estimated that the population of young people of the Gambia is around 70%. Equally, unemployment rate as of 2023 is still at 4.7%, according to Macro Trends, the Gambia. This has exacerbated the wave of irregular migration among the youth of the Gambia. We recognize global instruments such as Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by UN General Assembly in 1948, which established freedom of movement. regional regional economic communities of Africa, specifically ECOWAS, has adopted instruments and protocol to facilitate free movement of people. In the Gambia, this has been ratified and adopted in all national. This has been ratified, adopted in our 1996 Constitution, and putting forward bills have been introduced.
Point of observation, Honorable Speaker. If the Honorable Member for Congo South would permit me. So the Constitution of the Gambia is the 1997 Constitution instead of the one you mentioned. It's not 96. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that correction. The Constitution of the Gambia 1997 has specified and accepted bills that were introduced 2022 to 2023 to curb the imminence of irregular migration, which also introduced or have witnessed the introduction of national migration policies. According to IOM reports from 2026 to 2021, over 24,000 young Gambians had took irregular migration. We have seen new wave of migration using the sea. I am putting forward this important motion for honorable members to share their view, to put it to the duty bearers, the importance to intervene, more especially from the side of the government, to check the level of unemployment in order to curb irregular migration. This is a very important situation considering the fact that the geographical location that I am coming from, that is the Combo Shark. Over the years now, we have seen sea becomes a new avenue where lots of Gambians will take the route as a means of getting to back way. On that note, human capital is very important in the development of the nation. And as I alluded earlier, there is this promising factor for the fact that good number of the young populations are found from the age of 30. So you realize that if the government can harness on that potential, there is no way we cannot make it. So therefore, this is a very important motion. I will cut it short in order to allow other members to bring in their submission in order to find solution. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member for Combo South. Any seconder? Honorable Member for Lower Flood.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Being that this August gathering or this August assembly do consider the adoption for the government to take measures enhancing youth and curb irregular migration, I rise to second the motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this August Parliament do consider the motion for the government to take measures to enhance youth employment and curb irregular migration. Those in favor say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. Honorable members, at this juncture, I will now open the floor for the debate. Any honorable member who wishes to contribute to the debate can do so by raising their tax and be called upon. For the smooth transition of this debate, please, those that have raised their tax, names of constituencies would be recorded, and we will submit in that order. Thank you. Please keep your tax up so that everyone will be seen, to avoid anyone saying you've not been selected even though you raise your tax. Thank you. As the names of those who's raised their tax is being taken, I would go ahead to call on Honourable Member for Fonyi Jaro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor to submit on the motion on government taking measures to enhance youth employment and crop irregular migration. Honorable Speaker, before I proceed on my submission, I wish to commend the government of the Republic of the Gambia for providing, last year, we were here and I was part of those who championed the issues of employment and also creating factories in every region and also advocating for skills or TVET centers to be established in every region. So I'm commending the government of the day for providing 2 technical vocational skills training centers in Fonyi Ndemban and Fonyi Kanilai with full government scholarship for all the students of this year. This is commendable. I wish to submit that this is a positive stride and wish to call upon the government of the Gambia to continue this trend by expanding to other regions. The call by the youths of this assembly and the youths of the Gambia to have each region a factory and also each region having their own TVET center to crop irregular migration and also enhances that the youths don't engage in rural-urban migration. Otherwise, the overpopulation will take effect. So aside that, I wish to submit that the Gambia has a national budget. We have a Ministry of Trade. Recently, if we talk about, for me, I don't want to prioritize the issues of irregular migration. That's not the priority of these youths. That's not. Let's understand what is the push factor. Why do youths leave their countries, their comfort zone to go to the perilous journey? We have to understand what the push factor is. It's not lack of stability, it's poverty. We are not going for the irregular migration. We are running away from home. We are running away from poverty. We are running away from unemployment. We are running away from lack of skills. So for the government to show seriousness in ensuring that the youths don't engage in this perilous journey, we have to create opportunities that would make sure that they see home, they see peace, and they see comfort in staying at home. How is that done? Let the national budget work for everybody. We have a Ministry of Youth. We have the Ministry of Youth. We also have what we call the Ministry of Trade, in charge with creating employment. We need more budgetary allocations to create jobs. We have never seen in our budget where specific allocations are allocated for creation of job creation. If you ask the duty bearers, they tell you we have NYSS, the PIA. Let's calculate how many graduates do we have from the university sitting home. We don't have enterprise development. So we call on the government to make sure they understand the push factors. If we can continue talking about the illegal migration for all we want. In so far, we are not ready to tackle the push factors, the factors that make sure the youths are running away from home, and the youths are running away from the poverty. We are not serious as a nation, and we ought to be very serious, especially with, look, sometimes I also believe that the youths are not serious. Yesterday, the Honorable Deputy Speaker alluded that we are above. I was so married to the idea, the wrong notion that we are 60%. The Honorable Deputy Speaker submitted yesterday that we are up to 70% of the youth of the population of this country. At 70%, we are still who we are. We are still where we are. We are not serious as a nation. We are not serious as youth. All the time, we are important is only when there's elections. The youth of my constituency complain bitterly.
Honorable Member, I wish to bring to the attention of the House that what the Deputy Speaker said was 70% of our population are below the age of 30, not necessarily the youth. You would understand that there are people that are below 15. You know, there are people from 0 to 30 years old, as far as the statistics of what the Honorable Deputy Speaker said is concerned.
All the same, being below 30 or above 30 insofar is within the youth bracket. You are just interrupting me to cheat my time. And mark you, Honorable Speaker, you have to compensate my time. So moving forward, I believe that insofar we are the majority. That's what matters, regardless of the statistics. Insofar the youths are the majority. Why are we only important during elections? We do the clapping, the dancing, and also the cooking. After elections, we are neglected. What is the problem with the Gambian youth? Why can't we take charge of our own destiny? Why can't we take charge of our own country? The youth of this country, we have to be serious. Because if you understand the way the dynamics are moving, you would understand that not much emphasis or concentration is given to our welfare. And it's us who can change it. I believe we should change it. And if it changes, it's for our own betterment. And I also want to submit that for creating employment, the trend that the government has taken in creating Tibet centers in various regions is also a positive stride. Because if you understand that if we have to turn our youth from job seekers to job creators, how you do that is by giving them the opportunity to learn skills. And through skills, they are also able to create jobs and also employ other people. So we should be very vigilant to make sure that the youths are given the opportunities to learn skills. Employability will be enhanced by making sure the youths are having these prerequisite skills. So the youth of my community, that's the Fonyi Jarol, have asked me to come here and champion the issues of unemployment. If we want to fight drug, crime, we have to understand what are the reasons. Yesterday, a member was submitting, and she the member for Bununga Kunda, and she was reprimanded for saying that if you don't have an option, you engage in drug. Of course, that's true. I stand in solidarity with that statement.
Honorable member, please, I urge you to withdraw that. Because you don't have something to engage on, wouldn't in any way justify?
Honorable Speaker, I can withdraw it, but you have to understand, an
Honorable
idle
member,
man is a devil's workshop.
Honorable member,
yes,
I want to please say it very clearly.
Yes.
That because you do not have, it's not a justification for a crime. A crime is a crime. It doesn't matter what pushed you towards that crime. The honorable member, when she mentioned it yesterday, she was asked to withdraw. And the moment she withdrew it, it becomes a particular ruling in this house, and no one should flout it again. Please, I urge you to withdraw that statement.
Now, you know, we are looking for diagnosis of our problems. We cannot shy away from the reality, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member, please withdraw that statement.
I withdraw the statement entirely. But you know, you have to understand.
Thank you so much.
In making a diagnosis, there is no pain. There is no gain without pain. You understand? So I believe if we want to know the problem, we must not shy away from talking about some other parliamentarians were talking substantively to issues that were raised here. So,
honorable member, I understand you can say this could lead to this. What I'm saying is, do not in any way even indicate that a lack of something should be enough to make you commit a crime.
I never said should. I am not even justifying it. I'm just telling you that.
But when you are in solidarity with the expression of the honorable member yesterday, you was absolutely indicating that. So it is okay to give your explanation and give your factors, but please, you don't need to show solidarity if this is what you definitely mean.
Okay, I withdraw that, but we have to understand that, like I told you already, that for the youth of this country to be put in the forefront, we should not allow them to idle. Drugs are so cheap in this country. Youths are exposed. There are a lot of attitudes that are brought into this country. We don't want to blame anybody for it, but we have to blame ourselves and our government for creating that environment. If the youths are not engaged, what do you expect them to? If they are giving, the youths are all engaged, many of the youths are engaged in gangs. A young brain who don't have even the capacity to think either good or bad is not going to school, is not engaged in any skill. What do you expect if a specific interest person comes and exposes them to drug? So that is what I'm trying to say. We must not allow our youths to idle that much to the extent that they are exposed to things that will destroy their future, destroy this country. You have a lot of crime. We blame the crime to the lack of engagement of the youths. So I believe this should start with us as the youths. We must be serious so that the receiving end would also see us as serious. We should not be doing the clapping. We should not be doing the dancing during elections, and after that we are neglected. We should also not be very idle to the extent that the duty bearers don't see seriousness in us. I want to submit that the National Assembly, the national budget should be able to work for all the youths of this country by engaging them into training and skills development and also employability. The youth of this country should be given a specific budgetary allocations to have more jobs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable member, for that submission. Our technical team, please assist us in having a timer on, 5 minutes for each speaker. honorable members of the House, it has been brought to my attention that there are some honorable members that are violating the provisions of the standing orders by using their phones in the chambers. This is something that is clearly against the standing orders of the National Youth Parliament, and no honorable member should be able to should be allowed to do this. Please be informed that this session is live, and whatever you do is captured. And it will be disappointing for people that have sent you here to represent their voice to see you using your phones whilst addressing their affairs. You're supposed to have all your phones away, or at least have them down and focus on the items that have been discussed. Thank you very much. At this juncture, I would invite Honorable Member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Ntela diam da bitala dula minto olen ko foninkel ila katadula ya bekele mi ya lonko ilafta meche la Gambia jam ani foninkel min dalil mu yati ne kata nyim bagwe use ni na Jara Center na consultation lo nyi nga foninkel soto la mi lela diam da ita ani la balanda mi ya lonko ka sunyin doku baliyala ni nata jibe Jara Central be kono sate mwani lulle be Jara Central bani nata jibe man youth center soroje mi ya lonko fundinkel be sila e mechel karan nata entrepreneurship la anin kudol fulanja woni nata jibe iko nga karan anin ntela diam da betala government na karola ni nata jibe rural Gambia ibe kata da itani kan pour ka karan bari yaje ye dol le parensol de apo imantara kata kan no pour que la dingol karande ani fana flanjan ni karanda foka pare yera senior sector ye examo ke foni parera after that ni tata college tertiary education yi bo ke kan yeke teachati o yeke nurse o yeke fendoti bon ni nata tichol la karola mbediam la fanna nyin nakata mopsi la karola ni nata jibe Gambia me kumbo kan tichol la karola ka fo tichol mansiya to nyale mansiya bari mun dalil la atina tichol mansiya alinga mfanyi ninka ba mun dalil la atina tichol mansiya ni nata jibe tertiary education na dulato ndol tichol mimbe karandirola iyela kodo jo imalo ifamani bamayo kodo bondi dulami sakoro ni nata rural area la karola yo tertiary education ye paso jo ibe lifo dani kay be ko be keka diploma sector yena examo mi yalon ko ye gradually cross le and then your requirement also to la purkata college ka cross after on imang entrance exam dila lastly inatana ka examo dila after the 2 years staffing your 2 years to the college alingo dula jibi amanyinya and then dol bije since 2020 ima employ no because of this exam funding kel bi tadula jibe no la nyaadile do bije fa koko na fale do bija ko mam te sake no nyaadile na parents ol mba fo no la na parents ol nyaadile kabri 2021 fo sa mbe mun kono ibe reject kan because of this exam anu nganna ko dojo adu na parents ol joro ke laminto pour ngam fanna fa sa en funding ke la ko funding ke le 40 e 40 anden ila futatela lo dulama pour ye tañato albe rejecta nte laftalo dulato ni nata funding ke la karote funding ke sembentuya nanata doku wala karola adun Jara Central fanambe batata balto mi yalon ko nanata funding ke la karola sainte funding ke jamal bitaka nyim bagwi adun dolbe fakan siloto ila diama mo minte olen ko doku mantara Gambia adi mantara doku dila mol mambe karanka na foka pare nim pa karantan tar hani college ni ngana karon ke ngana karon dafa e na mo reject ntitano la tichin filo kono nga sio nyam adu mo jamal even this year mo jamal lebe siri mantano tichin filo kono because of this exam mbe appeal kan government e ko ye nyindula consider ba ponninkel be batada minna nanata rural area yebona fo ya all the way from Jara Central ena karan wala or all the way from LRL alena karan wala tertiary education after ron alena ning bata dasoro kana fonninke la karol ñim be suntala olem ning karode mi yalon ko moltara bagu ye silol so ntebe min fokan government modula jibe bake nanata we fonninke la tañato adum fulanjaw ni nata jibe jara central molbe fanna fan wala minna nanata courant wala karola sate fula damma o damma le courant sot hanin tafan ame youth council la vice ya pasinot but nimbe evento kelan ko dula kilo damma leta because sometimes ni ko be diam la micro to for a courant use ni ko be diam la stakeholder le ye invite for a macro use so nol be man taraje fonninkel be nafa soto la nyamin kata saimbe mun kela
Abaraka, Honorable Speaker. I now call on Honorable Member for Sando.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor to speak on behalf of my constituency. I have various points here that I want to make that are affecting the youth of Sandu. I think, like the motion states, based on to enhance the youth's empowerment. Empowering youths in our area is lacking, seriously, I would say. First, we start with education, like I already mentioned yesterday. Reduction of poverty, we need to check on those ones. We also need to see infrastructural development in my area. We also need to check on the gardening to help the women. Here, if I say to help the women, most especially if they are about to sell their goods, it becomes very difficult for them to transport their goods. Simply because we have only two main places where they normally go and sell. That is one, they go to Diabugu or transport them to the main market of URR, that's Basi. And in transporting this one, it becomes very difficult for them. We have this local, motorcycle that we call farafara, whatsoever we call it. Those are the ones that normally transport them. And in that, it's not safe for them to be in that farafara, we call it in local terms, because of the nature of the road to transport these goods. So I think government need to help us to work on those ones. These roads that are also linking villages is another concern. These vocational training centers also need to be in my area, because if you check, there is none, I will say, that is there at Sandu. They all have a travel to come toward the rural urban area in order for them to have their trainings. And these trainings, it becomes a problem for them to have accommodation where they will stay. But if these trainings are centered in my area, they'll be able to have easy access to this training, which is also going to reduce poverty ratio in my constituency. So these are some of the facts. And if you check also, we have what we call this vocational training that may include welding, tailoring, carpentry, tie and dye, batiking, you may name them. Because what we believe in that not everybody can be able to have access to public office. But these are other things that we can able to venture into in order for them also to bring what development in our nation, especially my constituency. I can vividly recall that when I have session some months ago with the youth of Kuonku. This is what we emphasized on. This is what we emphasized on, that we have to train these youths. Not everybody can be in the office. So if we train them, we give them support financially. In that, we are going to reduce this, poverty. And the other thing is that, in order for them to stay, not to have, migration, is for them to support sport in my constituency. We have only one step that is ongoing at, Diabo, incomplete at the moment. So if they want to participate, for them to be selected to participate in national level, it becomes very difficult, because they have to join a tournament in Basse for them to be captured and come to the Banjul area here in order for them to play in divisional leagues and to be captured by them by the squads, so that they can be playing for that. So if this sport is not promoted, that can lead to this migration, rural urban migration. It can lead to that, because they have to leave their place and go to where they can easily have access in order for them to venture into this. If you look at this also, we have electricity, which is a problem, and it's a necessity for everybody. We talked about the basic needs. This basic need, electricity is fundamental right there. That we need to have electricity and good network. and which is affecting the use of that area, because you have to develop yourself based on this thing. If there's electricity, you can able to have access to other media sources where you can able to, engage yourself into and have business and other stuff like that. So I think it's a concern for government to step in order for them to promote or to help the use of my constituency and other consequences, I mean. So please, I'm begging you, honorable members, we have to stand by this. Not only my constituency, I pretty believe that in all constituencies, these are some of the factors that are affecting us there, in which, we have to address this issue and take, steps. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Honorable members of this August House, may I please invoke clause 13 of our standing orders to take a short break. So we shall be back at 1:15. Thank you.